researchers, innovators, leaders of industries, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, allow me to express my gratitude to the Berkely Innovation Forum for having me here this morning to share some insights and thoughts into a very intricate subject matter. So I want to thank the organizers of this forum for their kind invitation extended to me to attend and to address the Spring 2025 Berkely Innovation Forum. I've been asked to speak on strategies for a geopolitically divided world. But since this is an innovation as opposed to a political forum, and since the theme of the forum concerns open AI, bridging geopolitical divides for global solutions, I propose to advance strategies that aim at examining how technology can be deployed to bridge divides of geography, geopolitics, and economics. I begin by reminding all that from the moment early humans struck flint against stone and sparked fire, two forces have propelled civilization forward: ideas and technology. The two are indispensable, epochal change. Every leap in human progress, from the wheel to the written word, from steam engine to artificial intelligence, has been driven by the restless ingenuity of the mind and the tools it fashions. Ideas ignite revolutions, challenge old orders, and chart new destinies, while technology transforms those ideas into reality, reshaping how we live, work, and dream. Without these twin engines of progress, we would be huddled in caves, staring at the stars in wonder rather than reaching for them. The Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi, once said, and I quote, technology transforms people's lives. From mitigating poverty to simplifying processes, ending corruption to providing better services, technology is omnipresent. It has become the single most important instrument of human progress. End of quote. Throughout history, human progress has been shaped by waves of technological revolutions, each unfolding at an accelerating pace. The first industrial revolution, 1970 to 1840, driven by steam power and mechanization, transformed agriculture and industry, leading to increasing urbanization and mass production, also leaving behind a trail of disparity and inequality among and between nations. The second industrial revolution, fueled by electricity and assembly line production, introduced automobiles, airplanes, and telecommunications, reshaping industries and societies, but also leaving a further divided world with greater inequality. The digital revolution of the late 20th century saw computers, the internet, and automation redefine business and communication, laying the groundwork for artificial intelligence, and the divide continues. Now, in the age of automation and connectivity, AI, robotics, the Internet of Things, and big data are reshaping economies at unprecedented speed, concentrating technological power in a few hands and widening global inequalities. Each technological leap has been accompanied By ideological shifts, the Industrial Revolution coincided with capitalism's rise and in turn sparked socialist critiques of inequality and exploitation of workers. The age of electricity witnessed the expansion of corporate capitalism, even as empires fell and wars raged. Amidst these upheavals, two powerful and competing ideologies emerged, shaping the course of global history. The digital revolution accelerated globalization under neoliberalism, expanding markets, but also deepening inequality. Today, as AI and automation redefine industries, there is growing backlash against globalization, rising populism, and increasing disparities between the developed and developing world. In the late 20th century, globalization was expected to narrow economic and technological gaps between developed and developing nations. This was supposed to be facilitated by international trade, investment, and technology transfer. It was believed that under globalization, economic convergence would occur as developing countries gain access to global markets, foreign investments, and modern technologies. This, it was said, would lead to higher incomes and improved living standards. Multinational corporations were anticipated to drive technology transfer, enabling poorer nations to modernize rapidly. Foreign direct investment was seen as a catalyst for job creation and industrialization, while expanded trade and investment were expected to reduce poverty, particularly in Africa, Latin America, and South Asia. Additionally, the digital revolution was projected to democratize access to education and knowledge, fostering comparative knowledge economies in developing nations. The reality has been different. While globalization has brought some benefits to developing nations, its impact has been uneven and in many ways disappointing. Instead of economic convergence, many poorer countries remain trapped in debt and essential services, in debt vulnerabilities, and narrow resource dependency. Income inequality has widened. Despite technology transfer, developing nations largely consume rather than produce advanced innovations, reinforcing global imbalances. Poverty reduction has been inconsistent, with many regions still struggling due to economic instability and poor governance. The digital divide persists as inadequate infrastructure keeps many developing countries reliant on imported technologies, limiting their ability to compete in high-tech and knowledge-based economies. Let me give you some numbers to indicate the uneven and unequal impact of globalization. According to Oxfam, 60% of the world has grown poorer. More than two-thirds of global wealth is held in the developed world. Developing countries are facing a deepening debt crisis, with many nations now spending more on debt interest than on essential services like education and health care. According to UNCTAD, 3.3 billion people live in countries where debt burdens take priority over social investments, exacerbating poverty and inequality. By the end of 2023, total debt in developing economies has surged to 206% of GDP, nearly double the 2010 level. The digital divide is widening between developed and developing countries. For example, in high-income countries, 93% of the population have access to the internet. In low-income countries, it is a mere 27%. And in the least developed countries, it is less than 35%. In terms of mobile broadband subscriptions, in high-income countries, the ratio is 148 active mobile broadband subscription per 100 people. 148 per 100 people. In low-income countries, it is 33 per 100 people. Given this context, it is expected that questions will be asked about the impact of AI on global relations. This is all more so since AI is accelerating at an unprecedented pace. A pace so rapid that the fifth industrial age may arrive sooner than we think. AI is poised to usher in a new era that could redefine human civilization. It promises an era that will bring not just economic and political shifts, but also a profound rethinking of human purpose. But there are fears also about whether AI will further consolidate power in the hands of high-tech corporations, making them more powerful and outside of the reach of governments. There are concerns as well about whether democracy will survive in a world where AI can manipulate public opinion. There is also concern that there could be an AI race, like the space race, the arms race, and the Cold War of the past. We've seen, for example, China's successes in developing deep sea. Equally, there are fears of digital protectionism. We must resist the attempts to erect barriers to the trade in products necessary for digitization. We must also be vigilant against the erection of barriers restricting access to non-military digital technologies. Energy security and technological innovation are deeply interconnected. Advancements in technology are needed to drive the development of more efficient, sustainable, and accessible energy solutions. A secure and stable energy supply is essential for powering innovation, enabling industries to develop cutting-edge technologies like artificial intelligence, automation, and digital infrastructure. Without energy security, technological progress stalls, and without innovation, sustainable energy solutions remain out of reach. Former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon once said, and I quote, "Energy is the golden thread that connects economic growth, social equity, and environmental sustainability," end of quote. At this time, the contours of the future development of AI are not fully clear, but I believe that we should adopt a positive approach to AI and look at the possibilities of AI and to direct it towards the common good. This brings me to the issue of strategies for a politically, and I dare say, economically and technologically driven and divided world. I believe that artificial intelligence holds immense potential to reshape society and global relations. I therefore wish to advocate for AI to be developed as a global commons and aimed at serving the common good. This, I believe, would ensure that its benefits will be shared equitably across nations, particularly in the developing world. Just as the natural resources of the planet, like the atmosphere and ocean, belongs to everyone. AI should be considered a collective resource, accessible to all, by fostering international cooperation and open source models. AI could enable nations, regardless of their economic standing, to leverage this transformative technology for critical sectors such as healthcare, education, and climate mitigation. When made available to everyone, AI could level the playing field, reduce inequalities, and empower the global south, helping us overcome systemic barriers to development, economic opportunity, and technological progress. AI developed as a global commons will enable countries to address shared global challenges in a more coordinated and effective manner. Issues like climate change, pandemics, and global poverty require collaboration, data-driven solutions. AI's capacity to analyze vast amounts of data can provide valuable insights. The late South African president, Nelson Mandela, observed that, and I quote, "Overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity. It is an act of justice. It is the protection of fundamental human rights, the right to dignity and decent life," end of quote. And we should ask ourselves this question: are we building justice, human dignity, and a right to decent life in our global AI strategy? It is a fundamental question. So far, I have addressed some very important issues. Geopolitical issues, climate change, trade, energy security, and food security, and demonstrated how innovation and AI can be that opportunity, but only if the value system in which we develop and deploy AI is rooted in what Nelson Mandela said: respecting human rights, promoting justice and just development, and aiming towards the dignity of human existence and decent life. We have to reimagine and deploy AI as part of the arsenal which can be developed to combat some of the world's foremost problems, including poverty, food security, and climate change. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres reminded us not so long ago that, and I quote, "There is enough food in our world now for everyone if we act together." AI ethically deployed for the common good can help us address global food security. It can help us find solutions to optimize agricultural production, reduce food spoilage and waste, and improve supply chain efficiency. Through predictive analytics, AI can forecast weather patterns, detect crop diseases early, and recommend precise irrigation and fertilization strategies. This will assist in boosting yields while conserving resources. By integrating AI into food systems, we can create a more resilient, productive, and sustainable global food supply chain. AI, when deployed for the common good, can be a powerful tool in the fight against climate change. By enhancing climate modeling, optimizing energy use, and promoting sustainable practices, AI-driven analytics can predict extreme weather events, monitor deforestation, and optimize energy grids for greater efficiency. It can be that important monitoring and evaluation tool. It can be that tool that identifies for us risk in a predictive manner. But importantly, it is that tool that can hold us to accountability. Smart agriculture, powered by AI, can reduce water and fertilizer waste, while AI-driven circular economy models can minimize industrial emissions. Let us recall the charge of former French president, who said, "We have a single mission to protect and hand on the planet to the next generation." How do we deploy this AI Folsom tool to hand on a better planet, to pass on a better planet to the next generation? A collective approach to AI development would ensure that the technology is governed by ethical standards that respect human rights, privacy, and fairness, mitigating risks of exploitation, bias, and inequality. By establishing a robust framework for global governance of AI, and I think here is where Berkeley and other members of the academic community, research community, must also put a lot of emphasis. What are the common governance mechanisms, the regulations, the legislations, the value system, the ethical standards that we are going to build in the global AI strategy? We cannot allow AI to continue at the pace it is being developed at without these important governance mechanisms. We can ensure that the technology's advancement is used responsibly, guided by the principles of sustainability and inclusivity, and directed towards improving lives across the world, particularly in areas that need it the most. The second strategy I propose stems from the recognition that developing countries are significantly lagging in the digital divide. While the rapid pace of AI development, cannot expect to benefit equitably from the transformative technology unless the digital gap is addressed. Let me pause to give you an example. Travel restrictions would become even greater when the systems are now being built only for digital passports and chip-driven passports, while many countries in the developing world are far from adopting that technology in their basic travel document. So, the second proposal is about how do we develop this AI strategy, this global common, in a way that would address the digital divide among and between countries. These nations cannot expect to benefit equitably from the transformative technology unless the digital gap is addressed. However, waiting for this gap to close before embracing AI would only result in developing countries falling further behind the developed world. Therefore, it is essential for these countries to adopt a dual approach as they work to digitize their economies. They must simultaneously leapfrog to the latest AI technologies. By doing so, they can bypass outdated systems, accelerate their development, and harness the full potential of AI to drive progress in key sectors like healthcare, education, and infrastructure. One of the power of AI is that it allows us to invest today to meet tomorrow's challenge, but in a way that is futuristic in addressing resilience and sustainability because of the predictable nature that it offers us. So you're investing to meet tomorrow's challenge, but at the same time, in an ecosystem that would address challenges 10 and 20 years ahead of us. The third strategy I propose is the promotion of open source AI tools and models. By encouraging the development and widespread use of open source AI solutions, developing countries can access cutting-edge technologies without the prohibitive costs of proprietary software. This approach allows these nations to adopt AI solutions to their specific needs and contexts, whether in healthcare, agriculture, or education, thereby fostering local innovation and reducing dependence on expensive technologies. Also, creating an ecosystem of open AI datasets and frameworks will enable developing countries to leverage valuable resources, enhancing their ability to implement AI-driven solutions across critical sectors and accelerating their integration into the global digital economy. Finally, to ensure that developing countries can fully participate in the AI revolution and bridge the technology gap, it is imperative to establish a dedicated AI investment fund. Tailored to their needs, this fund will provide crucial financial support for AI projects, enabling developing nations to leapfrog traditional technological barriers. Investing in AI for developing countries is not just a matter of equity. It is a strategic imperative to create more balanced and technologically empowered global economy. My friends, for technology to truly bridge global divides, it needs a guiding idea. Without a guiding idea, technology alone cannot effect positive change. While innovation can drive progress, it lacks inherent direction or purpose. Left unchecked, technological advancement can reinforce existing inequalities, benefit only a privileged few, or become tools of exploitation rather than empowerment. Without a clear framework to ensure that technology serves humanity, technological progress becomes fragmented and the potential for meaningful change is lost. A guiding idea provides the necessary vision to steer technological development towards solutions that uplift societies, bridge divides, and create a more equitable world. The guiding idea that is needed for AI is one that gives priority to equity and inclusion over profit and power. The central idea that should propel the development of AI must be one that ensures it is developed and deployed as a force for the common good. AI must serve rather than replace humans. It must empower rather than exploit and uplift rather than marginalize. Only through such reimagined vision, where AI is directed towards the common good, can we ensure the next era of globalization is one of convergence, not division. In a world fractured by geopolitics, wealth disparities, and technological divides, AI holds the power to stitch together what has long been torn apart. AI technology can become a great equalizer if deployed properly. AI can turn the promise of globalization into a reality for all, not just a privileged few. A future need not to be a tale of the technologically rich and the digitally poor. It must be one in which innovation lifts every nation, every community, every individual. AI is not just a tool, it is an opportunity. Let us seize it, shape it, and share it. Because a future driven by AI should be one where no one is left behind. Let me also end by posing a few questions. Innovation to what end? A more divided world? Greater inequality? Or as an equalizing force? India has shown us they have bridged this gap by research and investment in technology and innovation. They have used it as an equalizing force, as a force of power, as a force of competitiveness It is for us now to deploy this model at different scale and size to ensure that innovation is done in a way as India would have shown us to bring equity in the system. Investment. Developing countries must also answer a few key questions. How are our budgets crafted? How are we making investments? Investments to what end? Are we investing for the future? Are we building our education system and healthcare system for the future? Understanding how different that future will be. Leveraging issues like telemedicine into our healthcare system. So the way in which budgets are crafted must also be reimagined. It cannot be crafted only to fix the problem in its current form. It has to be crafted in defining a solution that addresses the problem in its current form, but lay out an investment portfolio that would address the challenges of the future. Such investment must bring future challenges to the forefront. Solving today's problem. This is the question. Are the investment only directed to solving today's problem, or are they also directed to solving today's problem and advancing tomorrow's opportunities? This is the question that policymakers must answer. With this, I thank you for your attention.
You have heard President Ali's remarks this morning, and I think if we listen to these words, we realize that the focus of his efforts in the country of Guyana are on global environmental efforts, not only in his country, but globally, particularly through his initiatives in the carbon trading market under the Paris Agreement, which established Guyana as a pivotal player in the nascent carbon market. His efforts to create an international center for biodiversity in partnership with institutions like Harvard and Oxford also underscore his commitment to our planet's future. Domestically within Guyana, President Ali has enhanced economic growth and inclusivity in Guyana by reducing over 200 taxes and fees, improving household incomes amidst global economic challenges. His targeted support for vulnerable groups further demonstrates a holistic approach to governance. At a regional level, as chairman of CARICOM and a proactive participant in CELAC, President Ali there has championed collaborative solutions to regional issues, emphasizing unity and cooperative action. His vision for Silicon City, which many of us saw yesterday in the room that we've set aside where the scale models are there, exemplifies innovative urban development where he did his training as a scholar, integrating advanced technologies and sustainable practices. This project aims to set a global standard for balancing growth with environmental stewardship and fostering a collaborative ecosystem for economic and technological advancement. Through these initiatives, President Ali not only advances Guyana's socioeconomic status, but also contributes significantly to the global dialogue on sustainable development and open innovation. And if I heard him correctly, we should add AI to this list as well, where he is charging us all again to go forward, but to do so ethically and to do so inclusively. On a personal note, With my opportunity to have my fireside chat with him last night, I can tell you he understands the power of openness, the realization that all of us together know more and can do more than any of us can do individually. He's also skilled in selecting and nurturing partnerships and creating collaborative opportunities for win-win activities where everyone is benefiting. We're having him here at a time of great opportunity inside Guyana, and I think he is ready to meet this moment as president. So it is for these reasons that on behalf of Chancellor Richard Lyons and my faculty and staff colleagues at the University of California, Berkeley, and particularly the Berkeley Haas School of Business, we are proudly presenting President Ali with the Award for Global Leadership and Open Innovation, celebrating his ongoing commitment to fostering a more sustainable and inclusive future. Thank you, President Ali, for your transformative leadership and your contributions to our global community. With that, I would like to invite you up so that we can physically present you the award.